Job 15, verse 34, and it reads, "For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. Kalalal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach one to rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Aquath listening and learning, Shalom. We'll get right into it through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. Job 15, verse 34. For the congregation of hypocrites, right? The gathering of hypocrites, the godless, the profane, outside the temple, right? Who's that? Esau. Shall be desolate, right? Ultimately be destroyed by thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Laying waste to America, right? America the Great, Babylon the Great. And fire shall consume the tabernacles, right? The houses of bribery. Bribery, present. Let's look into it. All right, and this is talking about Esau here. Bribery. Present bribe, right? And we're in a time right now. What is this bribery? Do this, and we'll give you back this. Right? That's why everyone out here is drinking this Kool-Aid, man. Believe in the wiles of the devil, right? The trickery, right? There's a great enchantment going on right now, man. Right? And 2/3 of our people, these heathen nations, they're enchanted. Right? Enchantment, witchcraft, wizardry. Right? And we're in a month of heavy enchantment, wizardry. Verse 35, they conceive mischief, right? These Edomites, these ruling class elites, these physicians of no value, and bring forth vanity, right? Emptiness, worthless. What they bring forth is of no value, it's empty. And their belly prepareth deceit, right? Their mind prepareth. Ultimately, they want to destroy you, Jake. Israel being a people before a place. You so-called indigenous, you so-called Latino, you so-called Negro. Right? It's all enchantments. Let's watch this article. And it might get clipped. Lord willing. It's the Lord's will if it does or not.
This morning, a breakthrough in getting kids back to their normal lives. The FDA authorizing Pfizer's low-dose COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. The decision coming just days after an advisory committee overwhelmingly voted in favor of recommending the vaccine, which Pfizer says is 91% effective at preventing severe infection.
Vaccines are one of our greatest tools in the fight against this pandemic, and making sure younger children in our population now have access to them has been one of our highest priorities.
Roughly 28 million kids could be eligible for their first shot as early as next week after a final sign-off from the CDC. More than 25,000 pediatric and primary care offices are ready for the rollout, along with pharmacies and community clinics. New York City has already ordered 231,000 doses.
The moment we get that final word from Washington, 24 hours later, we'll be up and running at our city sites.
At Inova Hospital in Fairfax, Virginia, they're prepared to vaccinate 500 children each day while making the process painless as possible.
We give kids stress balls, things to hang on to, distraction, bring in costumed characters.
While some families are eager for an extra layer of protection for their kids,
any way that we can make it safer and keep them in school, I think it's worth it.
others are holding back. A Kaiser Family Foundation survey found that more than 2/3 of parents are either going to wait or will never get their 5 to 11-year-olds vaccinated.
For my child, however, she has a whole lot of allergies, and I fear that.
While the nation shows signs of pulling out of the pandemic, the U.S. intelligence community released a report Friday revealing that the origins of COVID may remain a mystery. Analysts unable to conclude whether the virus spread naturally or leaked from a lab. And also this morning here in New York City, one of the nation's strictest COVID vaccine mandates is now in effect. City workers who didn't receive at least one dose of the vaccine will be placed on unpaid leave starting Monday. Union leaders are warning of potential staffing shortages, closed firehouses, and longer response times from emergency responders next week. Kristen, Joe?
All right, Kathy Park.
Stay prayed up. Prayed out ceasing. Kwame Asharala. Wa Abad. Babal.